Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Welcome back to R.O.C. I'm your host King Chuchooo, and today we got a very legendary, very special guest, A.Cruz. Anthony, go ahead, tell him what's up with you.
Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm A.Cruz. People call me Anthony, but musically I go by A.Cruz.
What studio we repping? Where we at right now?
This is BringVida. I started this about 2 years ago. Had a few different people coming in and out recording their music. Tried to do the whole record label thing at first, but kind of redirected it and started kind of working with more people from the area and getting music going around here.
So, bro, tell me a little bit. Tell the people here, obviously, a little about yourself, dog. Like, what made you get into music? Did you always have this love for music? You always have this infatuation with the idea of maybe becoming some type of artist, some type being in the music scene in general, or what was it?
Yeah. I guess whenever I first started getting into music, well, like when I was 12 or 13 or whatever, like my sisters used to be into the whole like R&B stuff, you know, like the Nelly and the Usher. Yeah. I hated that stuff, man.
Really?
Yeah.
You ain't like Usher, bro?
No, man. I hated that stuff. I listened to that getting ready for school.
Bro, you didn't like Let It Burn. You didn't like that?
No, man.
That's crazy,
bro. No. Whenever, I think the first time that I actually started getting into music is when I heard like Kanye West on the radio. What song was it? Touch the Sky, yeah.
Hey, that's crazy. That must make sense because y'all ain't paying attention.
Yeah. I need to get the late registration vinyl, but yeah, man, Kanye West, that's what really got me into it. And I was also into wrestling at the time, and I was like downloading wrestling things on my MP3, you know?
Yeah, on the MP3.
Yeah,
bro. You got to memorize the shuffle through your MP3 because you can't even look.
The little Blue Zune or whatever it was. Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
So, tell me a little bit, where'd you grow up, bro? Where'd you grow up? Where you from?
I've been here my whole life, man. I didn't grow up in Lamar specifically. I grew up in a little town called Wiley, about 10 minutes to 15 minutes away here or so. Little tiny farm town, man. If you think Lamar's small, Wiley is way smaller, bro.
So, growing up over there, bro, was it ever hard to imagine, like, how, was it really Kanye on the radio that made you think, yo, I could do this artistry shit? Or what kind of got you into that space, excuse me? Let me give you an example. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Because for me, growing up in Rocky Ford, right, R.O.C, growing up around there, it was very difficult for me to imagine myself ever being something bigger than maybe a loose nut and bolt worker, a field worker, or sell drugs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It was very poverty. Like, bro, one of my biggest dreams growing up was this. My dad laughed at me for this shit, bro. But my biggest dream was, I want some money. I didn't even know what a lot of money was. I just wanted some money. Yeah. I wanted a house, a car, and a girlfriend. That's it, because I didn't know you could do more to life. I didn't know life was bigger than what I saw. True. So growing up there, what did you see?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess, growing up, I always felt kind of different. I'm kind of hard to see myself like fit any of the molds around me. Like I said, I grew up in a really small farm town, and I wasn't really interested in being a farmer, working on tractors or plowing fields or nothing like that. Yeah. No. I always knew I wanted to do something different. And I don't know, I guess when I started kind of hearing different music and I just kind of, discovered how people made music and performed and traveled and things like that, I think that's when I really started kind of like turning the gears in my head.
How'd you learn that, though? Just through the radio?
Yeah, no. So, like, whenever I started, I guess, I think I was probably 17, 18. That's when dubstep was starting to become a big thing.
Mr. Gangnam Style and shit.
Yeah. When dubstep started coming out, that's when I downloaded Fruity Loops for the first time, and I was like, all right, I'm going to try to make some of this stuff. And I made a bunch of demos. I put them out on YouTube. And
what were you making though to over dubstep? Like you were making beats, or you were actually making songs?
Yeah. No, I was making like dubstep beats. I was making some remixes, there's original tracks, and the space wasn't as saturated back then. Like not a lot of people were uploading music like they are now. So like I was able to actually get some traction back then. I'd upload songs. Yeah. People from the UK were listening to my stuff. It wasn't popping by any means, but
it was dope to feel it.
Yeah, it was cool. Like I had people in the comment section saying they listened to the stuff in their car, or
that's fire,
asking
bro.
for EPs. It was pretty cool. Yeah,
that's fire.
Cool. So that's kind of how I got started. And I was just showing my friends on the bus on the way to football games, stuff like that. Hey, check this out. I made some dubstep.
Yeah. Damn. So it was just like, what got you? Because everyone always says like, oh, bro, I want to make music, or I want to do some type of music. What really got you in gear to be like, fuck it, I'm doing it? It genuinely is just the love for it?
Yeah. Like I said, when I started doing that, like making the dubstep, I don't know, I remember it was my senior year, so, we were getting ready to figure out what we want to do, what we want to go to school for, where we want to go to school, things like that.
Figuring out your fucking life for once.
Exactly, yeah. So just, laying in bed at night thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do? Just I remember one night, like, you know, I was already kind of in the midst of making music and putting out tracks. I was like, you know, I really love this stuff, man. Like, I could really see myself doing this. Like, you know, I didn't really have anything in mind before that. Like, oh, this is what I'm gonna do. You know, I'm gonna be, I don't know, be a plumber. You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
The regular, no disrespect to anyone, but the regular Daglish.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, like I didn't really have a whole lot of skills doing a lot of things. I mean, I feel like I'm a pretty smart guy, you know, but like, you know, there wasn't anything I was, you know, genuinely interested in beyond music. So once I found that,
that's fucking cool, man.
I was like, yeah, you know, this is what I want to do. You know, I want to really learn this world.
What's crazy about that? Let's transition into this. Before we continue on the path that we're going, because I think this is super dope to figure out about you.
Yeah.
For the people that don't know you, like I know you. What are you? Like, you're an engineer, you're an artist, producer. Go ahead and label it for them, just so they kind of know, they get a gist of what you do, who you are.
I feel like I'm a musical jack of all trades, man. I do a little bit of everything. You know, I do the music production. You know, I've worked with artists around town. You know, recording songs for them, getting it mixed, making it sound good. I write my own songs. You know, when I write my own music, I make my own beats. I do everything from scratch. You know, I lay down the beat. I get the sounds the way I want them, and then I start recording over it. So,
bro, and you know what I think's crazy is you got such a knack for hearing shit. You got a knack for understanding where the track could go, what could elevate it, what we could take away. Even little minuscule shit that like I could never hear out of that. And it's crazy to me because when I edit through these videos and these podcasts, I need the visual representation to know where, hey, I gotta cut here, hey, I do this. With you just hear it. That's a beautiful thing, bro. That's how you like. There's people that do this shit for pretend and people that do this shit to play. You do this shit for real.
I feel that. Thanks.
And
man.
that shit is really dope to see, bro. Because, and you know, for the people that don't know, growing up in the area we did, he's still part of the Valley. He's from Lamar. Mm-hmm. It's not real big on hip hop. It's not real big on artistry. It's not. There's not a lot of shit outside the regular jobs like I mentioned earlier. Right?
Yeah.
So, growing up, bro, it was really just your sister and them playing Usher, playing Nelly, playing shit like that. That was your first real introduction to music like that?
Yeah.
Like hip hop and shit?
Pretty much, man. I don't know. I hate to call myself like a hipster or something like that, you know, but like back then, I don't know, like whatever the wave was, I don't know, it sounds stupid, but like, and I was kind of against it. I don't know, like, don't get me wrong, like, you know, once emo stuff started coming out, like that was wave, I was all in, bro. Like, I was all into Escape the Fate and like all that stuff, but
shit, that was me with Pierce the Veil.
Yeah,
Sum 41, all fucking. Bro, see, I'm on the little more basic side of all that shit, like with Sum 41, fucking, fuck, I'm going blank, but yeah, like Sum 41. Yeah. Like that, you know what I mean?
But I don't know, I guess I bring that up because I don't know, I feel like that's what kind of like, I don't know, molded me as, not just a person, but as like an artist, you know?
Yeah.
Because
inspirational.
I don't know, another big reason why I'm into music is just because it's like, it's just that space where I could really just kind of like, you know, figure out who I am and like, you know, what I'm going through in my life, like, you know, what's kind of what's in my mind right now or what's really eating at me. You know, I feel like, you know, when I get into the studio and I'm able to make beats, I'm able to write songs. It's really my chance to kind of like come to terms with like who I am at that moment. You know?
Yeah, that's
like,
fucking sick. It's your skate.
Exactly. Yeah. Like so when I put that song down, I go back and I listen to it. Like I listen to the words I sung, the words I wrote. I'm like, oh man, you know, this is what's really going on in my life right now. Like, oh, this is what I'm really feeling. You know?
That's it. So that, you know, I always talk about this thing, dealing with my emotions, dealing with my spirituality. I guess what I'm trying to say, when I experienced that, that's the same reason I fell in love with hip hop.
Yeah.
Because hip hop gave me that creative expression. It gave me that place to where, hey, what the fuck am I, like with Eminem and like how you just said, what I'm going through, what I'm feeling, I feel it in the music.
Exactly.
And sometimes these artists can portray it better than I can for myself.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's always my escape. And you know what's crazy about that? Talking about the type of music you like.
Yeah.
You got a lot of individuality with yourself, bro. You're very against the grain, like as far as style, as far as production, as far as music, and that's dope because you've been able to find your lane through that music shit, and that's really dope to hear because I always figured it. Like knowing you, I know we haven't known each other for a long time, but that's really dope, bro. Because I like to think about myself in that way, where music created that escape for me. It created that new world, new perception, everything, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about some of the shit you got going on around town, bro. I know you're a real big community leader. You're really invested into your community.
Sure.
How's that shit?
Yeah.
How is it? What do you got going on? What do the people don't know?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like you said earlier, you know, there's not a whole lot of like music stuff going on around town or just in this area in general. So, I don't know, like, you know, trying to find my place in the world and just, you know, those nights laying in my bed thinking like, you know, who am I gonna be? What am I gonna do? I don't know. Like, I think at just some point I figured out that, you know, who I am also has to do with what I put out in this world and like what I do around me. You know, I feel like you're only as good as what you can give to others. So
Oh, that's hard.
yeah, so like what I try to do is like I really try to like, you know, I don't know, open the doors I guess for people. You know, like
Especially for people that like me, they don't know you just recorded a track for me.
yeah,
Put me through that. That's some shit I would have
for
never
sure.
been able to do by myself. You gave me a lane to go into that
Yeah.
I never knew.
Exactly, you know, and I've really tried to kind of lean into that a lot more these days. Just, you know, letting people know that that service is available. You know, anybody that wants to get into music can hit me up. You know, we could work on tracks. You know, even if it's just recording or, you know, helping you people come up with ideas. Like, you know, because I know a lot of people here aren't really familiar with like how a studio works. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just kind of like guiding them, like, okay, you know, let's try this, or like if you have this idea, you know, how can we, you know, materialize it, you know, make it something.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Besides that, I try to do things for other people that aren't necessarily musicians. You know, like the past couple of years, we put on a music festival in our downtown pocket park, and that's been really cool. You know, we've got a lot of people that make music around the area to perform. We've had people come from like Denver, Colorado Springs, and Kansas. Yeah, so we've been doing that the past couple of years, and it's growing every year. I feel like it's getting better, and people are noticing. So
you know what's great
cool
about that, bro? Giving back to your community and
Yeah.
giving people a life that they might not have known was available. Because we keep getting older, but the world always get younger.
Yeah.
And all these kids are finally looking at you, and
For
you
sure.
won't even realize it, dog.
Yeah, it's
But
true.
these kids will look at you and be like, "Damn, Anthony's doing this. A.Cruz doing this. Like,
Yeah.
I could be that. You are giving that inspiration an outlet that they don't have to do the regular.
Yeah.
And going back to what you were saying, where you're only as good as what you put out to the world and what you could do for others.
Mm-hmm.
I live by this quote. I heard it from Nipsey. Maybe I won't change the world, but hopefully I can inspire someone to do so.
Man,
That's
hard.
the quote I love to live by,
Yeah,
bro.
that's a
Because
good one.
I'm only as good as what I could do for you and what you could do for me.
That's true.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
a
We're
good
trying to
point.
help each other out.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, my validation doesn't come from anyone but myself. But I don't feel good about myself until I'm helping people,
Yeah.
until I'm showing love, support, energy, time into
Yeah.
people I care about, into the
Yeah.
community, into the culture. You
It's
know
like
what I mean?
if you stay stuck in a box and you don't like do anything like with what you're good at, it's like what good does it do?
What are you doing for people?
Yeah,
Exactly,
like-
bro. That's why
exactly.
even like I'm a barber outside of this, and one of the keys that these old heads always held for me was teaching me tricks, teaching me ideas,
Yeah.
understanding how to hold weight and shit like that.
For
And
sure.
I never want to be that old head holding
Yeah.
holding game from the youngins. I
That's
always
true.
want to give it forward.
Yeah, that's
I'm always
true.
big on the communities we're from, bro. I really believe it. Tell me what you think. We're really bad on taking the fruits of the labor, but not putting the seeds back into it.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
I've always noticed that about where we're from. We got a lot of hate ass fools, a lot of hater ass vatos. But if I could be the change that starts the cycle over and starts it anew, hey, I'm happy with that.
That's a good
you know
point.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like I don't know. Like as I kind of get older, I learn to kind of ignore a lot more of the noise. The people I don't really. I feel like a lot of times it's just people don't really understand what it is that you get from it, or like what you're trying to do. You know, like people see you share songs online and they're like, you know, like who cares? You know?
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
blah, blah,
but
blah.
like at the same time, it's like I'm not making music for those people. Like I'm making music for the people that, you know,
Understand the culture.
understand the culture, or like who want to know the culture. You know,
Yeah.
people that want to like.
Get invested into this. Like it changed
Yeah.
your life and it like changed my life, right?
Exactly. It's like when I see people in my own music community, when I see them like upload songs, or like I see them put some new projects out, like it inspires me. You know, it makes me want to kind of get back to the grind and start putting things together. You know, so it's like it's our way of kind of lifting people up. You know, and not even just people that make music, but there are people that don't, that really get into it. You know, they're like, oh man, that's cool. Like I'm glad to see you like pursue something you like to do and really put it into existence, you know?
Yeah, bro. I always got
Yeah.
dudes that tell me all the time. One big thing that they love about me is, and I don't ever see this shit in myself, but I love that they tell me. They say, bro, even though I don't have any aspirations to be this big media vlogger, to be this big media outlet, or to do this music shit or do anything, they always tell me the way you talk, the passion, the conviction, the energy that you have, it inspires me to do better in my own life. And like that shit is the coolest shit in the world to me, bro. That dudes look at me and they're like, bro, everything you're doing is so dope. It makes me want to go harder.
Yeah, that's good, man.
That shit's so dope to me.
Yeah.
And that's why I see with you all the time grinding. That's why I had to get in here. Like, I've been dying to do this interview with you, bro. I've been dying to pick your mind. Tell me this, bro. How has it been dealing with... Earlier, you were talking about blocking out the noise from certain people.
Yeah,
From,
for sure.
negative energy and shit like that.
Yeah.
Was that shit really brutal on you at one point? Like, were people's opinions, people's comments, people's ideas really fucking with you mentally at one point? Or has it always been a thing you've just been able to block out? You've been able to ignore?
You know, I don't know if it's necessarily mostly like people's like outside voices or opinions that really get to me, as much as it is like my own opinions. I mean, I think that's
really?
I think that's normal for everyone, but like
you're harder on yourself than the world's harder on you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's always been my thing. Not even just in music, but just life in general. But specifically for music, I feel like the thing is like, what is it that I expect my music to do, or like what level do I expect myself to be at this point? I mean, I think everyone's like that musically, but
shit, even in real life, bro, I'm the biggest fucking bro. I have the hardest opinion on myself every fucking day. Like, I wake up every day, bro, and it's not that I'm old, but I'm definitely not young no more. Like, I'm 24. Where am I supposed to be at 24 already, dog? Like, how high am I supposed to be at? Where was I supposed to take it, and where could I have been? Did I not go hard enough? Did I not try enough? Did I not do this enough? Do I have enough of the fucking enoughs to make it?
Yeah.
And I'm always bugging on myself like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that never really goes away. At least it hasn't really for me. But I don't know. I feel like at some point I've kind of learned to like listen to that voice a little more. Not so much the self-criticism, but more the voice that says like, what is it that you're gonna look back at tomorrow and
be
see?
Proud of?
Yeah. What you're gonna be proud of or ashamed of, So like, I don't know. I just try to put in, my best work every day. I mean, I've had to try to find a balance in recent years, like not overworking, but like, finding time for
that
like,
work-life balance.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Cause I can get in the habit sometimes of working too hard, but, I guess what I was trying to say is just like, I don't know. I've learned to like not expect so much from my music. I saw a quote from, Rick Rubin. He produced for Kanye West.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly how it goes, but I know it kind of said something to the effect of just kind of like letting your art be, don't make your art for anyone else, make it for yourself. And, I've really learned to lean into that and not expect anything from it.
That's so dope. So a couple years ago, I was a real big music reviewer, and that's what me and Rookie would always do. He just jumped in because it was my dream, and he would help me out, humble shit. But even to this day, off all that music reviewing, and no one will ever see those videos. They're all private. I've never let those bitches out again.
Yeah.
But one thing about those is that I have people to this day send me music like, yo, can you review this? Yo, can you tell me about this? And my biggest thing, especially as a content creator, bro, like, how hard the criticism of yourself is. But like when dudes come to me and say, hey, what about this? My thing is, you gotta have an unbiased mind. You gotta be open to every type of sound.
Yeah,
everything.
that's
So
true.
like, I got a
sometimes.
homeboy that sound always reminds me of that SPM type of vibe. I got another homeboy that's a super off the walls melodic, but he raps with it, and it's different, bro.
Yeah.
And my thing I always try to tell these dudes is, look, if you put your best foot forward and you feel like this is the best shit that you've done so far, like every time I do an interview, every time I drop some type of video, anytime I do some type of edit, music video, whatever it is, I think it's the best shit I've done so far.
That's good.
And if you don't think that, then you shouldn't put it out. Because I can't tell, just because it's not my type of vibe, doesn't mean your art's bad.
True.
It's
all subjective.
It's all subjective.
Yeah.
And there is times where shit's just trash. But I'm talking about, like, if you genuinely went to the studio, cared about it, put passion in it, you didn't just download a beat and do some bullshit over it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
But I guess what I'm saying to your point is, as long as you love your art genuinely, that's what fucking matters. That's what's going to take you to the fucking top with that shit. You know what I mean? Because I can't tell you your shit's good or bad. You can only tell yourself that shit.
Yeah, it's true. Kind of like you said, you can kind of tell when people just do it just to do it, versus like,
they just bullshit it, dog.
This is like what fuels me, and this is, and not to act like a gatekeeper to any of that stuff, but I don't know, you can just kind of tell when you listen to music.
Bro, it's not even being a gatekeeper, though, because at some point, dog, like, this is my fucking craft. Like, bro, I've never wanted to be the artist. I don't even want to be this, bro. Real shit. I want to be the dude behind the camera, just making sure everything goes. The thing is, I have to do this because no one else would do it.
Yeah.
And then eventually, hopefully, I work so hard I get in the position I don't have to work like this no more.
Yeah, that's good.
But to the gatekeeper point, I care about the fucking culture, dog. Like, everyone always thinks they could be a rapper, they could be a engineer, they could be a producer, whatever the fuck it is. You can't, probably.
Yeah, it does kind of.
You could try, but and I always encourage everyone to try.
Yeah.
But do it with the best intention, because this shit changed my fucking life.
Yeah.
Like, I always none of these people understand how much hip hop and music in general has changed my fucking life, bro. Yeah. When I think of Nothing Was the Same, I think about me. When I think about the Carter 2, I think about fucking me. When I think about Take Care. When I think about 2014 Forest Hills Drive, that shit is me genuinely. And when people play with my culture, it fucking irritates me, dog.
Yeah, I can understand.
Like when people, the other day, I just posted a post about Nothing Was the Same just turned 9. And I was talking about this.
Pretty good album.
Yeah, man. It's just one of the most influential things in my life. And I made this post talking about that. This is when Drake still had his back against the wall, and people were still questioning his pen. People were still questioning him if he could be emotional and still rap, like shit like that. And some dude hits me in the comments. That was extreme dick riding. That was extreme dick riding. You could have just said it was a good album like the rest of us, and we would agreed. And it's not that, bro. Like this fucking shit changed my life. It changed my perspective on shit. It changed how I felt. I could deal with women, how I could deal with my friendships. Like, bro, this shit means everything to me. This is my fucking culture, bro. Don't play with me.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? So one thing about me is I'm very deep and emotional about shit. Like, I like to get into these conversations. So one thing I need to ask is, has it been hard, and what toll has it taken on you mentally, physically, emotionally, maybe not being at the position you thought you were going to be at this point in your life?
Yeah, for sure. That's tough because, like, I don't know. I feel like nowadays with music, and I think it's kind of been like that for a long time, especially kind of, in hip hop and stuff like that. But I feel like there's this, I don't think stigma is the word. There's like this pressure to be something, you have social media like Instagram, Facebook, whatever, Twitter, and everyone kind of expects you to be, I don't know, they expect you to be pretty far, but at this age, they expect you to be driving a G-Wagon, to be wearing the newest shoes, whatever.
All the social pressures.
Yeah, exactly. It's those things that people expect you to have those things to kind of show that like you're succeeding at this level, or like your music, people expect you to be, I don't know how to really say it, but they expect to really see like some material or physical thing that says like, I made it, I'm playing in Paris, or I'm playing at Coachella or whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. So like for me, I think what I just kind of discovered is like, wherever I'm supposed to be, I'm gonna make it. Like all I can do is like put my best foot forward, put my effort into the music I make, really lay it out there and say what I need to say and how I want to say it. Be open to feedback, criticism, and just let the work do the rest. You know what I'm saying?
Do what's supposed to. That.
Yeah,
bro. And one thing for me is looking back on everything, and maybe not being where I thought I was gonna be at 19, 18 years old.
Yeah.
For me, like, I actually told Rookie this. We were having a podcast. It's the last episode. It's gonna drop eventually.
Word.
But one thing I was telling him, man, like during COVID specifically, that shit just put me into an ugly depression, bro. The ugliest depression. I'm talking,
tough time.
And when I say depression, fool, I'm not talking about sadness. Like, one thing I want to change the stigma of: people can be sad. Life's a fucking roller coaster, dog. You're not supposed to be happy all the time. You're not supposed to be sad all the fucking time. Not supposed to be angry, but you're supposed to feel everything. It's genuine to feel.
It's the beauty of making music.
Yeah,
for sure.
But one thing about this content creation and shit like that is, during COVID, at that point, I've been grinding for 4 years. I was grinding for 4 years continuously. And the thing that I've realized now, and this is me looking back, is I only went hard for like 4 or 3 months at a time. Yeah. That's why I didn't go nowhere. But the point I'm trying to make is, it got to me so bad, bro. I'm talking about, it was a genuine depression. It wasn't no sadness shit. Yeah. It was me. I couldn't get out of fucking bed. I hated being alone, but I hated being around people. I couldn't fucking make my bed. I didn't want to shower. My acne, my facial hair, my hair was getting out of control. Everything about me was going crazy, bro. There wasn't a time I didn't want to go. Bro, there's times I really want to fucking blab my shit and get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah, it's tough.
And part of it was just me being so fucking hard on myself, bro. Like, me being so hard and like, fuck, bro, you're such a fucking loser. And
yeah, I feel you.
Like, you ain't where you supposed to be. You said you were going to do this, but you're not doing this. And it's just because, and it's me blaming everyone but myself. And it all comes back to myself. But I guess what I'm asking, bro, is how do you generally deal with those pressures? How do you deal with those pressures?
Yeah, I don't know. So like, I mean, the past few times that, oh, it's stupid. The past few times I've been cleaning my house and vacuuming and everything, I threw on some of my old beat mixtapes that I made. Like, I don't know. And I was counting like how many I've made, and it's crazy. Just kind of like listening back when you've made so much music and just kind of hearing the
I was
evolution.
gonna say the evolution of your
Yeah,
sound, the evolution of who you are.
exactly. So I mean, I just popped on my headphones. I was listening to those mixtapes from the first one I made all the way to the one I made before this last one, and I was just kind of listening to the progress and just kind of like whatever ideas were in my head and like how I put them down and like what I was really aiming to accomplish and comparing that to where I am now and like seeing how I use those things and like what I'm doing now and just kind of looking at that progress and just appreciating like how far you've gotten and just how willing you were to like go to different places artistically and creatively and I don't know, it makes me appreciate like what it's really about, like the point I was trying to get at earlier is I feel like there's so much pressure to hustle nowadays that we don't like stop to think like music is just a
The
beautiful
artistry
thing.
of it.
Yeah, it's an art. It's a beautiful thing of its own, and like I feel like my problem back then where I would just get into these depressive ruts myself was just like expecting my music to do something, rather than it be what I fell in love with to begin with. It was just this artistic place where I can just express myself and really release what it is that is bogging my mind. So I think I just kind of had to learn how to like really just release that expectation for my music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
1,000%. That's so. Yeah.
Yeah.
1,000%. Just let it be what it is,
Yeah.
without the pressures of the outside world affecting you, yourself affecting you. Like
Yeah.
this is just something I love genuinely. This is something that I could do forever.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of things are like that, like just the people around us, we expect them to be something, or like our jobs, or like whatever, and I feel like, I don't know, it's my problem too. I'm not perfect, don't get me wrong, but like, just trying to realize like we have to kind of let those things be and really learn how to appreciate them for what they are. Like there's always going to be tough times, even with music, as beautiful as it may be, but like you just kind of have to learn how to really just ride the wave, I guess, just really kind of go with it. I mean, my last album, I called it The Waves, and that's what it was really about, was just kind of like just the frustrations of life and like, those deep fissures that the heartbreaks that you go through cause, and just really learning how to like just ride those emotions and just kind of let,
Feel everything.
not necessarily let life drag you away, but, learn how to like embrace those waves and really kind of go with it and find your way, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 1,000%. That's
Yeah.
fucking dope, man. That's
Yeah.
super dope. I always tell everyone. I always tell my buddies, because as a barber, you get a lot of people venting to you about their life and shit like that.
Yeah.
I always tell them.
This guy's good, by the way. He's a good barber, man. Like I didn't have to cut my hair for like a month. That's crazy, bro.
But
Good.
I always tell these dudes, man, it's okay, because they're always like, bro, I'm just fucking sad. Like, I hate my life. I hate this shit. And I want more. I want this. I was telling bro, embrace the feeling. Like, there's nothing wrong with feeling that adversity, feeling that shit. Embrace it, but don't let it become who you are, because you're not those feelings. You're not the fucking loser. Like, that's what I tell myself every day, bro. And the people might clown me. People might think this shit corny. Bro, every day I got to get in the fucking mirror and be like, bro, you're confident.
Yeah.
Bro, you're going to make it one day. You're going to do words of affirmation to myself.
Yeah.
I got to, man. Another thing I want to ask you, bro, where's that for BringVida Studios? For the people that don't know what that means, it's Bring Life, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Where'd the idea behind that come from?
I mean, I had that name for a long time, BringVida. Initially, it was gonna be my first album. I had a bunch of like demos that I had put together, and I wanted to release that as a project. But I kind of felt like BringVida was supposed to be something more, so I saved that for a while. I mean, I didn't know I was gonna make it into what it is now, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna save it. So, anyways, like, I don't know, whenever
that should remind me of Nipsey with Victory Lap, bro. It's always been in fruition. Like, it's always been there, but
yeah, you just never know. You kind of set it to the side and don't realize what it's gonna be someday. And it's really cool when things do that. But I don't know. I guess the idea with BringVida, me and a friend were really wanted to like, put our music out there and kind of get things going. So I'm like, oh, this is a good chance to use that name and kind of create this platform where we could really do those things. Like show people that we're serious and really make that imprint. Because I mean, I've like I said, I've always released music and kind of put that into existence and just kind of like throwing darts in the air, whatever you want to call it.
Trial and error.
Trial and error, exactly. But like I don't know, with BringVida, I felt like it was more intentional. It was saying like, okay, like these are my ideas. This is what I'm doing. This is what I want to do. Here it is. Like this is it. It's official. It's a legal thing. It's a registered business. Like this is what I want to do. And
I'm serious about it. Let me put
exactly. I want to put my stamp on history. Whether that's big and and a torrential thing or a small minuscule.
But it done enough to impact the culture.
Yeah, I've made my mark. I've done my thing, and
I mean, shit, bro.
it's not over yet, you know.
I'm gonna say you got it from me forever. Like this shit gonna imprint. Well, I guess I shouldn't say it. Yeah, imprint on me forever, bro. Like this shit, it gonna last forever. This shit was
that's good.
Like
bro.
It came through, and we've only met how many times? 3 or 4 now.
Yeah.
But bro, the genuine energy you bring. How genuine and open you are as a person and welcoming you are as a person, bro. It really does leave a lasting effect. Like that's why I came back to you. I've been through producer. I've been through engineers, dog. Some of these fools I never hate no one, but some of these fools I just really can't stand. I can't rock with.
Yeah.
You've always been very easy with me, very open to me, and I appreciate that. And I want to. That's the reason behind this interview, bro. Really, it's not even like it's a beneficial thing for us both for sure. Like it's a mutual like you do me a solid, I do you a solid, and together we create something bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, really, why I want to do this interview, bro, I just want to shed light on you as an engineer, as a producer, as an artist, and everything like that. I need people to figure out your story. I want people to go from this interview. Maybe Kevin Gates and Nipsey don't have the most classic albums ever. Maybe they're not Ye and got fucking 4 of them.
Yeah.
But you know what they got? 20, 15 fucking classic interviews.
Yeah.
Their interviews have impacted me longer and forever, more than anything. And this is where I truly fall in love. Like, I always got an appreciation for artists and artistry, but where I really fall in love with them and I really love the idea about why I support you is through these interviews. I want to figure out your mental. I want to figure out you emotionally. I want to figure out you physically.
That's a good
or
point.
well, pause. But you get what I'm saying. Like I want to know where you guys are at. I want to figure out you guys' head, what your mind state is, because this is what made me fall in love with this shit, bro.
That's a good point, man. And that's that's something I honestly forget sometimes. Like being a producer and songwriter, I feel like I've been in this space for years where I'm like, okay, like how do I make this sound, or like how does that artist create this in the studio, or like how do they write like that, or how do they how do they get that sonic vibe in their albums, whatever it may be. And I kind of like forget that, like, part of it, not a part of it, but a big huge component of it is the story that's being told. You know what I'm saying? Like I really forget about that. Like me and my girl will be driving and stuff, and I'll be listening to a song, and she'll be like, "You hear those lyrics?" And it's like, oh, and I'm like, well, I'm kind of listening to the beat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or like I listen to like how the voice, what effects they use, stuff like that. So I really kind of forget, like, at the core of it, we're all people.
The human nature.
We're human. We're telling stories. We're talking about like how we feel, like what we've been through, and I guess I forget that component about the artistry sometimes.
That's such a great point, because that's what's made me fall in love with like 2014 Forest Hills Drive, Graduation by Ye, Take Care, Nothing Was the Same by Drake. Like the how humane that shit is, how natural that shit is, how human that shit is really what made me fall in love with the culture, dog. Like I keep bringing it back to culture, but I love our fucking culture, bro. Yeah, anyone, and not even just hip hop, but just music in general, dog. Because I know from some extent it all comes from the same place. Yeah, like we all got it. The ones that do it for real and don't do it for play. Yeah, it comes from that genuine place out of your heart. Like, bro, I don't make shit off this. Bro, I've invested money, dog. I ain't gonna put no number outside on the camera, on the mic, but I've invested fucking money to this, bro. And I've never, and maybe not in a monetary way I've ever experienced that shit back. Yeah. But damn, in the feeling of enjoyment, in the feeling of making people feel like they got put on for a stand. Because I always, I was telling my buddy, shout out my homie Ian Kersey, the day I'm ever gonna feel like I made it, bro. The one day I'm gonna finally feel like I made it in this shit is when someone says, "Hey, yo, Chuchooo, you want to do an interview? Can I interview you?" I don't give a fuck if they got 1 follower. I don't give a fuck if they got 100,000, bro. One day someone finds me interested enough that they're like, bro, people need to hear your story. They need to hear who you are, and they need to hear what you're about. Bro, I fucking made it.
I appreciate
that, bro.
Made it.
And that's
like I appreciate it because you gave me the opportunity to do that. You know what I'm saying?
No, bro. And I hope these fucking vatos from the valley, from the state, whoever. Yeah. Bro, this is the baddest motherfucker I've ever worked with, and I've been around a lot of these fools.
Appreciate that, bro.
You need the love, you need the appreciation, bro. You got to get your flowers while they're here.
I appreciate
while you're
that,
here. Excuse me.
It is kind of hard for me to tell my story sometimes because I'm so like used to being in grind mode. I'm like, okay, like what is it that I want to put out? Or, like, how do I want myself to be perceived? I guess I do kind of think about criticism sometimes, but more in the sense of like, okay, like what is my presentation gonna be? Like how do I want to be perceived versus like how I am being perceived? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense.
No, I get caught in that same trauma, bro. I get
it's
caught
like a cycle,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tell me, growing up, who are some of the most inspirational artists that you fucked with?
Oh yeah,
Who kind of like how you were talking about that rock shit earlier?
Yeah.
Little the emo sound. Like what? Who are the artists you were really influenced by? You feel like in your life?
Man, I feel like the more steady ones, anyways, because I don't really listen to a whole lot of rock. Like I can't really like say like what bands I'm really listening to anymore. But I think like the more steady artists I really listen to, of course, Kanye West. Man, I've always loved Kanye West. I used to listen to like every album or like every song he's even featured on. So I definitely rocked with Kanye West for years, and I still do. You know, I don't. His music nowadays ain't like. I don't know. I personally don't feel it as much as I did. Like Donda 2. Let's be honest, that was kind of trash. You know.
Yeah. Hey, bro. Do you ever get stuck? And we'll go back to because I do want to know who's influenced you, but that got on my mind about Ye.
For sure.
Do you ever get caught in the idolization of maybe artists, like these artists that you looked up to growing up? Like, do you ever accidentally idolize them?
Yeah, I mean that happens a lot, especially musicians. You know, I kind of think like, I think about like the music, so like just the art and like the genius that they put into the things they create versus like who they are as people. I know like Kanye caught a lot of flack in the past year for, you know, his relationships with people like Kim Kardashian and I don't know. Of course, you don't know everything that goes on from both sides. Not to give him a free pass or anything, but you know, especially with celebrity culture, you know, you really don't know like what's genuine, like what's being done for like, you know, marketing or you know just to get attention from people. So I try not to feed into it too much, I guess.
I try to avoid the idea of idolization because these dudes are still humans at the end of the day.
Exactly.
I always like, bro. I've had dudes my age, dudes older, a lot younger than me, have came to me and said, "Hey, yo, Chucho." They don't call me Chucho, they call me Derek, but they're like, "Hey, yo, Chucho. I really look up to you, bro. Like, I appreciate everything you've done. Like, I want to be like you. I want to do what you do. I love the way you think. I love the way you process shit. I love the way what you stand for, type shit like that." And I always tell them, bro, real shit. And this might be fucked up, and because I don't think I have the best ideology in my life, but I always tell dudes, don't look up to me, dog. Don't idolize me, because I'm human. I fuck up.
Yeah,
I've done a lot of bad.
Point.
I've done a lot of bad shit in my life. But hey, I try to live by these morals, and I don't move the field goal.
Yeah.
I keep what right is right and what's wrong is wrong, bro.
Yeah.
And I always try to keep that. But going to the idolization thing, dude, I have a hard time separating that idea from Gates and Nipsey.
Yeah.
And even Drake, man, bro, because those fools are so influential in my fucking life, dude. It's hard for me to not get emotional. Sometimes I feel like when people tell me Drake's trash, I'm like, bitch, you're fucking trash. You know what I'm saying? Cause bro, these dudes really impacted me.
Take a bat for him, you know?
Yeah, bro, real talk. Yeah. But who are some other artists you were influenced by, bro, outside of Ye?
Kanye has to be the number one, but also, I mean, I really like Frank Ocean. You know, I listen to a lot of his stuff, all of his music.
That sound like R.O.C, bro. R.O.C said that motherfucker need to drop a fucking song.
Yeah.
He need to drop another fucking song. Excuse me. He need to drop a song though. Yes. You know what I mean?
Someone made a tweet and got Kendrick Lamar to drop an album. So.
You saw that SK tweet? Shout out SK, man.
We're waiting for SK to get Frank Ocean to drop one too.
Shout out SK, man. SK dope.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, I mean, I really like Frank Ocean. I'll just kind of name some off. I really like Queen, Tori Moore, Prince. I like a bunch of different stuff, man. It's kind of hard to say because I'll be listening to something and I don't know, just kind of move on to the next thing. But those are a few of my favorite ones.
That stuck with you throughout the years.
Yeah,
Cudi?
Kid Cudi, Montel Fish, Calvin Harris. Just a bunch of different M83. All over the board, man.
I got a lot of appreciation for Cudi, and he might not be one of my favorite artists or even in my top 10, 20, whatever. But I appreciate a lot of what he's done for the culture, bro. Especially,
yes, man. He made hip hop really accessible. I feel like if it weren't for people like Kid Cudi and Kanye, you know, Frank Ocean, whatever, I don't know. I don't feel like hip hop would be accessible for people like me, you know.
No, I feel the same, bro. Especially come on, out the 80s, 90s when it's like the East Coast all about that player shit, drug dealer shit, and the West Coast strictly on the streets. And then you get dudes like Cudi, you get dudes like Drake, you get dudes like Frank Ocean, Tyler, Mac Miller, Wiz Khalifa. That it's like, damn, this is a little more accessible to me. Shit, Wiz used to have me and R.O.C, bro, the snapback on her head with another snapback straight on the fucking on the belt loop, and then with a Diamond Supply tee, or you know what I'm saying. Mac was the same way for me, and the fact that these artists were there to make this shit accessible, because this shit wouldn't have been for me, but it's my culture now. And when I say it's my culture, dog, it's because I grew up in it my whole time, you know. And these artists did a lot. Yeah, bro. It's super dope. It's super fucking dope. And, you know, I'm really hip hop based. This is kind of what my channel's about. So how do you feel about the current style of production, the current sound in hip hop today?
I can't really say I've rocked with it too much. Not that I'm hating on it, but I don't know. I just haven't really found anything I resonate with too much.
What do you think as an artist you have to do to create that cultural movement, and it's not just come and go? It's not microwave shit. Do you have any idea what you should do, what you feel like people should try more?
Yeah, man, it's kind of hard to say. You know, like I feel like this is like a subject opening a can of worms, but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of social pressure, and not even just social pressure, but like economic pressure. Like a musician is expected nowadays to drop an album every year, like to release a single every month in order to make money.
Mm-hmm.
And like I can understand that. Like, you know, there's people that actually depend on music to make money, to put food on their table. So I get that pressure. But I feel like the challenge that creates is like you have to make music so fast, and then you get that feeling like, you know, you're just putting music down an assembly line, putting A, B, C out there. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like my best music comes when I take time and I really like, you know, put this idea into place. I add some drums, I add some synths, you know, do some vocal takes, and I let it sit for like a month or, you know, 2 months, whatever. I come back to it, tweak it again, add some new flavor to it, and I don't know, just really just let life take its course and just let that be imbued into my music, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's hard to do when you're putting out a song every month or like an album every year. You know, you don't get a lot of time for things to really marinate. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Putting the chicken in the oven right away.
Yeah.
I'm not really good at cooking, so you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like there's just a lot of like pressure to make things so fast and so quick, and just, I don't know. It doesn't, you know, like I listen to an album like Runaway, My Dark Beautiful Twisted Fantasy by Kanye West. That's a masterpiece, man. I don't know how long he took, but I know the dude had to travel to Hawaii and had people in and out of the studio. He had people wearing suits. I think that was the album that he did that. But like, he had rules that people had to follow when you're making music, and it's just like this process, you know. And that kind of thing doesn't happen in a day or a month. Although I think he made 808 and Heartbreak in like a week, something like that. I don't know. It was pretty quick.
Yeah.
So,
how do you feel as a local artist?
Yeah.
What do you need to do to be successful in creating a buzz, getting yourself out there? Like for Colorado, even in Colorado, like how do you feel like these artists are going to be able to blow up past Colorado?
Yeah. Well, I feel like a lot of people rely on the internet, and I'm guilty of this myself, but I feel like nowadays a lot of people rely on the internet. But I mean, there's people that found success that way, don't get me wrong. But I feel like to really get yourself out there, I feel like you have to get on the road, man, and play music in places, you know, because there's, you know, I've always worked in the realm of like releasing music, putting it online and things like that. But me and some dudes here in Lamar have really worked together to put on live shows like the festival I was telling you about. And it is a different experience when you like experience music live and in person, you know, versus like, you know, it's just something you heard on Spotify in a playlist. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy. Some dude was telling me the other day that he's like, one of these people told me what they used to do, and what I should try to do is go off the highway and go bar to bar to bar, like even going past states, like from Colorado to Texas to New Mexico or Arizona, whatever, and just line up gigs.
Yeah,
driving straight down the road, trying to get gigs, do that live appreciation for shit.
Yeah.
And you know, one thing I think hip hop lacks though, bro, as far as the performative side, is genuinely good shows. It's hard to be a good performer in hip hop.
Oh yeah.
It's hard. A lot of people rely on the song, so you gotta have that ability to keep people engaged, keep people going. Because at some point, it's just, dude, now we're just all in a big group listening to music that we don't fucking know. Yeah. So you gotta have that performative aspect. I feel like dudes could get really good at performing, be able to collab, be willing to promote other people's work too, and genuinely though, not just to get the feedback back, but genuinely like, hey, I love your style of production. Hey, I love your lyricism. So, hey, I love how you personify what it is to be a gangster. Whatever the fuck you like to do, find something genuine about that. And I feel like local artists could dive into that with their own community. Sure. I feel like the community would take them to the top. Like the reason I'm so big, bro, and not to rub my own dick, not to stroke my own ego and shit like that, but I feel like I'm one of the biggest motherfuckers out the valley. I feel like when you say Derek Lucetto, when you say Chuchooo, they know who you talking about.
That's good, me. Man. You should have that confidence in yourself.
Yeah, man. So I feel like, but that's because I dive into my community. I dive into my people. I want to benefit you the same way you benefit me. I don't know if I'm saying that shit correctly, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But But yeah, bro, I feel like with this music shit, people just got to be willing to invest in their own community, their own people more, and I feel like that will really take them to the top.
Yeah.
Because it's so oversaturated now, bro. The games, it's the number one
really
genre
hard
in
to
the world.
stand out. Yeah, that's true. Just like, you know, in the internet era, it's really hard just to, like, you know, set your imprint, you know. And don't get me wrong, like I said, like traveling and getting in the physical world and being a real person is important, but I mean, the internet presence is important too. You know, people need somewhere to go back and for, you know, to get your streams or your plays, whatever, to find you. Yeah, learn your story. But, you know, it's just that, just realizing there's a real world out there with real people, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
yeah. No, I agree. You got to get around the people.
Yeah.
The people will elevate you if you give them a reason to, though.
Exactly.
You got to benefit them, and they just like they'll benefit you in the process. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. And don't get me wrong, I feel like I can learn from my own words sometimes. Like, I've only played. I played in my first festival, like, that we made in 2021, and I haven't played any shows since then. And there's been opportunities, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just making excuses on why I'm not playing. But yeah, I don't remember where I was going with that. But, you know, I feel like I have a good sound. I feel like I've put a good album together.
Yeah.
And I feel like I got good music in the works. It's just really, you know,
getting out of your own head.
Exactly, getting it out of my own head and getting into a microphone and some speakers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look, yeah, it's letting people appreciate your art, bro, and the way we're gonna do it, shit. You're gonna get it done, bro. I believe in you, shit.
I appreciate that, bro.
You look what you've done on your own. Look how much you invested. You went too hard for this shit not to pay off.
Yeah, that's true, man.
You know what I'm saying?
It's gotta mean something. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, to be honest, bro, I think we had a great conversation. We've been in here about an hour. You got anything else you want to touch on? You got anything you want people to understand, know that we didn't maybe talk about through this? And I want you to know you are always welcome back. Anytime you want to promote anything, anytime you just want to come on and bullshit, whatever you want to do.
I like this.
We could always have. You always got a place at R.O.C, bro. We're always supporting you with whatever you want to do, whatever ventures you go into. You good people, bro. You good for it. So you're always welcome back to my platform. And you can always use my platform to promote yourself too. Sure, always welcome to do that shit.
Yeah, I'll give you a shout out too, bro, because I know we had conversations too where you're saying, you know, like, you're putting in the time and effort, and not a lot of people do that. So when I see people like that, I do my best to, you know, try to elevate them too and continue to help them create. I don't know. I guess, you know, like, when we talk about these big, grand, cool ideas and stuff like that, you know, I'm not a perfect person. You know, I make mistakes and I have my dark, evil moments, but that's why I really like creating and, like, being able to write, because, you know, just, I don't know, if I feel like it just a place to really channel those inner demons and those successes and whatever, you know. Like, you know, of course there's more to music, there's more to life than music, but I don't know, it's just what makes us special. It really helps us, you know, be who we are and you know, get through the day. So I don't know, I got another album I'm working on, you know. I mean, we'll see what form that takes, you know. Like I said, like,
yeah, bro,
music nowadays is different, but and, you know, I'm always trying to learn and, like, you know, and try different strategies and try different things, because I mean, even though I say, like, you know, like art should take its time, like, I understand that the world's different. I don't want to be a stubborn old man, you know what I'm saying? I want to, like, you know, I want to try experimenting and be open-minded, but yeah, man, you know, I'm excited. You know, I got things in the work. I've been going to school, so it's kind of hard to find time, but
it's that balance, bro. Yeah. It's that balance to figure out. That's why I appreciate you kicking it with me. Fuck, it's late, bro. It's what, 9:00 right now or something
like that. It feels late to me nowadays.
I appreciate you staying with. I appreciate you working this out with me and staying here, being able to do this. Cause bro, if you put energy into my dream, I really do appreciate that. Cause this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Yeah, it's the only thing I want to do.
That's awesome, man.
You know what I'm saying? But it's A.Cruz. You got anything you need to touch on? Shout out, give yourself shout outs. Where can they find you on socials? I'll put them in the tag below in the description. But let them know where they can find you.
I use Instagram mostly. It's from A.Cruz, FROMACRUZ. Probably get back into YouTube here pretty soon. Start releasing some demos and some, like, visual things. That's one thing I really want to get into a little more, is, like, you know, creating visuals for my music. 'Cause, I mean,
that's what's gonna elevate you, dog.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I'm trying to get rookie on it.
Even for simple things, even if it's like something simple, you know.
Oh yeah, no, you have to, bro.
I definitely
it's way more alive than pressing a link.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just a little image still, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, Instagram, YouTube. I release music on Spotify, and I definitely have some stuff coming on the way. Just gotta find the time, you know, around school. Get them A's. You know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So, it's your boy King Chuchooo. Shout out to R.O.C. It's R.O.C. to the death of me. Shout out BringVida, Studios. It's R.O.C. to the death of me. We stand on 10. We never fold. I appreciate y'all coming to the Ox Play, checking it out again. We really love y'all. Appreciate y'all. We out.
Thanks for having me, bro.